Imagine waking up and realizing that the life you've always dreamed of isn't as far away as it seems. It's not buried beneath years of struggle, endless self-help books, or grueling sacrifices. It's there, just waiting for you to take action. But here's the catch. It won't wait forever. You've spent so much time trapped in the cycle of overthinking and excuses that the simplest truth has eluded you. Your life can change dramatically in a matter of days if you stop hesitating. Not weeks, not years, just days. I know it sounds ridiculous, but when you strip away the noise and commit to real change, it's like stepping into a completely different reality. That's what happened to me. It was as if I'd been asleep for years, stuck in a fog of frustration, regret, and self-doubt. Then, in a single moment of clarity, I decided enough was enough. I wasn't going to waste another day waiting for some magical solution to appear. And in just 3 days, everything shifted. The truth is, the world doesn't owe you anything. It doesn't care about your excuses, your fear of failure, or how badly you want things to be different. Time doesn't wait, and neither should you. So, ask yourself right now, are you ready to stop being your own worst enemy? Are you ready to stop wasting time? Most people aren't. Most people will spend their entire lives waiting for the right time to start. They'll scroll through social media, binge-watch TV, or endlessly consume motivational content, hoping something will inspire them to take the leap. But here's the uncomfortable reality. The perfect moment doesn't exist. The only time you have is now, right now. And if you don't seize it, you'll keep living in that loop of frustration, feeling stuck and powerless. The secret to breaking free isn't as complicated as you've been led to believe. It's not about working harder or learning more. It's about doing less of what's holding you back and more of what moves you forward. And it starts with setting your priorities straight. For years, I mistook busyness for progress. I'd wake up, check my phone, and dive into emails or messages, thinking I was being productive. But by the end of the day, I felt exhausted and unfulfilled, like I'd accomplished nothing meaningful. It was a harsh wake-up call when I realized that most of my time was spent reacting to the world instead of creating my own path. I was running in circles, confusing movement with momentum. Everything changed when I started setting 3 non-negotiable priorities each day. Not a to-do list filled with minor tasks, but 3 critical actions that would bring me closer to my goals. At first it was hard. My old habits kept pulling me back, checking notifications, getting distracted by endless noise. But once I pushed through the discomfort, the results were undeniable. I was getting more done in less time, and for the first time in years, I felt like I was in control. Imagine waking up each day knowing exactly what you need to do to make it a success. No more second-guessing, no more wasting time on things that don't matter. It's liberating. And the best part, it builds momentum. The satisfaction of completing those key tasks fuels you, making it easier to stay focused and disciplined. But here's the thing. Most people won't do this. They'll tell themselves they're too busy, that their day is too chaotic to prioritize. But the truth is, they're just afraid to take responsibility for their time. They'd rather stay stuck in the comfort of their routines than face the discomfort of change. Don't let that be you. Take control of your day, and you'll take control of your life. Another game changer is decluttering your space. This might seem trivial, but trust me, your physical environment has a profound impact on your mental state. If your room, desk, or house is a mess, it's likely that your mind is too. I used to convince myself that I thrived in chaos, that my clutter was just organized mess. But deep down, I knew it was dragging me down. When I finally took the time to declutter, it was like a weight had been lifted off my shoulders. Suddenly, my mind felt clearer, my stress levels dropped, and I could focus without distractions. It wasn't just about tidying up. It was about letting go of everything that didn't serve me anymore. Old clothes, useless gadgets, even digital clutter on my phone and computer. Everything had to go. And with every item I discarded, I felt more free. Clutter isn't just physical, it's emotional. We hold on to things because we're afraid we might need them someday, or afraid of letting go of the past. But by decluttering, you're making a powerful statement to yourself. You're saying, I'm ready to move forward. I'm ready to create space for what truly matters. Think about your own space right now. Is it helping you thrive, or is it holding you back? Take a few minutes to look around. What's weighing you down? What can you let go of? Start small. You don't have to tackle everything at once. Just pick one area, a drawer, a shelf, your desk, and start clearing it out. The sense of calm and clarity you'll gain is worth it. And while you're decluttering your space, don't forget about your mind. That's where journaling comes in. If you've never tried it, it might seem like a pointless exercise. I used to think the same thing. But once I gave it a shot, I realized how powerful it could be. There's something about writing your thoughts down that brings them into focus. It's like taking the tangled mess in your head and laying it out in front of you. Every morning, I'd sit down with a notebook and just let my thoughts flow. At first, it felt awkward. I didn't know what to write or how to start. But as I kept at it, I noticed patterns in my thinking, recurring fears, frustrations, and even small wins I hadn't acknowledged. Journaling became a way to process my emotions, set intentions for the day, and clear my mental clutter. Most people avoid self-reflection because it's uncomfortable. They'd rather distract themselves with social media or other people's problems than face their own. But here's the thing. You can't change your life until you're honest with yourself. Journaling forces you to confront your thoughts, your excuses, and your fears. It's raw and sometimes painful, but that's where real growth happens. Every morning, take a few minutes to write. Don't overthink it. Just start. Ask yourself, what's on my mind? What am I grateful for? What do I want to accomplish today? The answers might surprise you. Over time, you'll gain a deeper understanding of yourself and what truly matters. These small habits, setting priorities, decluttering, journaling, might not seem life-changing at first glance, but when you commit to them consistently, they build a foundation for transformation. The life you want isn't out of reach. It's closer than you think. But you have to take the first step. No one else can do it for you. So, what's stopping you? When you start peeling away the layers of excuses and distractions, you uncover something remarkable. The power to create the life you've always wanted. It's not some grand, unattainable thing that's years away. It's right here, within arm's reach. But here's the thing most people miss. It doesn't take a monumental effort to get started. It's about small, consistent habits that chip away at the barriers holding you back. One of the most transformative habits you can adopt is daily exercise. Not because it's about getting a six-pack or running a marathon, but because it trains your mind just as much as your body. Think about it. Every time you move your body, even when you don't feel like it, you're sending a powerful message to yourself. You're saying, I'm in control. That discipline spills over into every other part of your life. It sharpens your focus, boosts your energy, and builds resilience. There was a time when exercise felt impossible for me. I'd tell myself I was too busy or too tired, and I'd skip it. But the truth was, I wasn't prioritizing it. And because I wasn't prioritizing my physical health, every other area of my life suffered. I had less energy, my mood was unstable, and my productivity was inconsistent. One day, I decided to change that. I started small, just 10 to 15 minutes of movement each day. It wasn't about perfection or intensity. It was about consistency. At first it was hard. My body resisted, my mind resisted, but I kept showing up. And then, something incredible happened. Within weeks, I felt stronger, not just physically, but mentally. I had more clarity, more drive, and a deeper sense of control over my life. It wasn't about the workout itself. It was about the mindset I was cultivating. Each session became a reminder that I was capable of pushing through discomfort, of showing up even when it was hard. Here's the thing. You don't need a fancy gym membership or hours of free time to make this work. It's not about how you move, it's about that you move. Whether it's a brisk walk, yoga, bodyweight exercises, or a quick workout in your living room, the key is to start. Every day, commit to even just a few minutes of movement. Over time, it becomes a habit, something you can't imagine going without. And that habit? It changes everything. But it's not just about what you do physically, it's about what you allow into your mind. Social media, for example, is one of the most insidious thieves of time and focus. It promises connection, but often delivers comparison, distraction, and a never-ending stream of noise. How much of your day is spent mindlessly scrolling, consuming content that doesn't add any value to your life? Be honest with yourself. Those hours add up, and they're robbing you of time you could be using to build something meaningful. I know this because I've been there. Social media used to control me. I'd wake up and immediately grab my phone, diving into other people's lives before I'd even taken a moment for myself. By the time I put my phone down, I felt drained, anxious, and behind. It wasn't just the time I was losing, it was my sense of self. I was constantly comparing myself to others, measuring my worth against highlight reels and curated posts. One day, I decided enough was enough. I set a strict limit, 15 minutes a day. That's it. At first, it felt impossible. I'd catch myself reaching for my phone out of habit, desperate to fill any moment of boredom. But as I stuck to it, I noticed something amazing. I had so much more time to focus on my goals, connect with people I cared about, and even just enjoy the quiet moments. My mood improved, my confidence grew, and I realized how much power I'd been giving away to a tiny screen. Limiting social media isn't about cutting yourself off from the world, it's about reclaiming your attention. It's about breaking free from the addictive cycle of validation and distraction. When you're not constantly glued to your phone, you're free to focus on what actually matters. You can direct your energy towards things that bring you closer to the life you want, rather than wasting it on things that don't. If you're serious about changing your life, start here. Set a timer, install an app to track your usage, and stick to it. You'll be amazed at how much lighter you feel, how much more focused you become, and how much you can accomplish when you're not scrolling away your time. And while we're talking about reclaiming your life, let's not forget the simplest, most overlooked habit of all, stepping outside. In a world where we're constantly connected to screens, we've become disconnected from the world around us. But there's something profoundly healing about spending time in nature. Even just 30 minutes outside can shift your entire perspective. For years, I didn't see the value in this. I'd spend my days indoors, moving from my desk to the couch, barely noticing the world beyond my walls. But the more I stayed inside, the more restless and anxious I felt. One day, I forced myself to step outside, even though I didn't feel like it. I walked to a nearby park, sat under a tree, and just breathed. No phone, no distractions, just me and the world around me. It was transformative. The fresh air, the sunlight, the sound of the wind in the trees. It was like my mind had been reset. Suddenly, the stress that had been weighing me down felt smaller, more manageable. I started making this a daily habit, and it changed everything. Spending time outside became my anchor, a way to ground myself and recharge. It reminded me that there's a world beyond my to-do list, a world full of beauty and possibility. The science backs this up. Studies show that being in nature reduces stress, boosts creativity, and improves overall well-being. It's not just about the physical benefits, it's about the mental clarity and perspective it provides. When you're outside, you're reminded of the bigger picture. The trees, the sky, the endless horizon. They put things in perspective, showing you that your problems, no matter how overwhelming they feel, are just a small part of a much larger world. So, make it a habit. Every day, spend at least 30 minutes outside. Go for a walk, sit in a park, or just stand on your balcony and breathe. Leave your phone behind, or at least put it on silent. Use this time to disconnect from the noise and reconnect with yourself. You'll be amazed at how much calmer, clearer, and more focused you feel. The beauty of these habits, daily exercise, limiting social media, stepping outside, is that they're simple. They don't require a massive overhaul of your life, but when you commit to them consistently, they create a ripple effect. They build momentum, clarity, and a sense of purpose. They remind you that you have the power to shape your life, one small choice at a time. So what's stopping you? The life you want is waiting. All you have to do is take the first step. Imagine what your life could look like if every action you took, every habit you cultivated, brought you closer to the person you want to become. Not in some vague, distant future, but starting now, with the choices you make today. That's the power of intentional living. It's not about being perfect or having everything figured out. It's about showing up day after day and choosing progress over perfection. The small, consistent steps you take will eventually create a life that feels purposeful and aligned with your goals. One of the most powerful tools to help you build that intentional life is morning journaling. You might think journaling is unnecessary, even indulgent. That's what I used to believe too. I didn't see the point of writing my thoughts down when I could barely keep up with the demands of my day. But I couldn't have been more wrong. Journaling isn't about writing a masterpiece or documenting your life for posterity. It's about creating space for clarity, reflection, and self-awareness. When I first started journaling, it felt awkward. I wasn't sure what to write or how to begin, but instead of overthinking it, I simply wrote whatever came to mind. My worries, my frustrations, my hopes for the day. At first it felt chaotic, like emptying a cluttered drawer onto the floor, but soon patterns began to emerge. I noticed the same thoughts cycling through my mind, doubts, fears, anxieties that had been holding me back for years, and once I saw them on paper, they lost their power over me. The act of journaling gave me clarity. It helped me untangle my thoughts, identify what truly mattered, and let go of the noise. Each morning, I'd sit down with my notebook, and by the time I finished, I felt lighter, more focused, and ready to take on the day. It wasn't just a habit. It became a lifeline, a way to ground myself amidst the chaos of life. If you're new to journaling, don't overcomplicate it. Start with a few simple questions. What's on my mind? What do I want to accomplish today? What am I grateful for? The key is to be honest with yourself. Let your thoughts flow without judgment. Some days you might fill pages. Other days it might just be a few lines. Both are valuable. Over time, you'll start to notice how this small act of self-reflection transforms your mindset and your ability to handle life's challenges. But journaling is just one piece of the puzzle. Another habit that can radically shift your life is setting daily priorities. Think of your time and energy as finite resources. Every decision you make, every task you take on, either moves you closer to your goals or pulls you further away. The problem is, most people spend their days reacting, responding to emails, putting out fires and chasing distractions, rather than proactively working towards what truly matters. I used to be one of those people. My days were filled with activity, but at the end of it, I often felt like I'd accomplished nothing of real significance. It wasn't until I started setting clear, non-negotiable priorities each day that things began to change. Instead of letting the day dictate my actions, I began each morning by deciding on the 3 most important things I needed to accomplish. These weren't minor tasks or nice-to-haves. They were the actions that would move the needle in my life. The difference was profound. Suddenly, I wasn't just busy. I was productive. My days felt purposeful, and my progress became tangible. Of course, it wasn't easy at first. Old habits die hard, and I constantly found myself tempted by distractions. But the more I stuck to my priorities, the easier it became to tune out the noise. And the results? They were undeniable. I was achieving more in less time, and for the first time in years, I felt like I was truly in control of my life. Here's how you can apply this. Each morning or the night before, write down the 3 most important things you need to accomplish the next day. These should be tasks that, if completed, will make the day a success. Start your day with the most important one before checking your phone, emails, or social media. Focus on it completely until it's done. The satisfaction of crossing it off your list will give you momentum to tackle the rest. This habit isn't just about productivity, it's about reclaiming your power. When you set and stick to your priorities, you stop letting the world dictate your life. You take responsibility for your time and energy, and in doing so, you build the confidence and discipline needed to achieve your bigger goals. But even as you prioritize your time and focus, it's important to remember the role your environment plays in your success. Your surroundings can either support your growth or sabotage it, and too often we underestimate the impact of clutter, both physical and mental. A messy desk, a disorganized room, even a chaotic digital space can weigh on you in ways you don't realize. I used to think my clutter didn't affect me. I'd call it organized chaos and convince myself I knew where everything was. But deep down, I could feel the stress it caused. Every time I looked at the mess, it was a reminder of what I hadn't done, of the chaos I hadn't dealt with. It wasn't until I took the time to declutter my desk, my closet, even my phone, that I realized how much it had been holding me back. Decluttering isn't just about creating a clean space. It's about creating a space that supports your goals and your mental clarity. When you remove what no longer serves you, you make room for what does. It's a statement to yourself. I'm ready to move forward. Start small. Pick one area, a drawer, a desk, a folder on your computer, and spend 15 to 30 minutes organizing it. Let go of anything you don't use, need, or love. And don't just hide it away in a closet or drawer. Truly let it go. Donate, recycle, or throw it out. The impact of a clean, organized space goes beyond aesthetics. It clears your mind, reduces stress, and makes it easier to focus. And as you declutter your physical environment, take a moment to address the clutter in your mind as well. Journaling, setting priorities, and even spending time in nature can help with this. It's all connected. The more intentional you are about your space and your habits, the more aligned your life becomes. These changes might seem small, but their impact is anything but. Each habit builds on the others, creating a foundation for a life that feels purposeful and fulfilling. It's not about perfection or massive leaps forward. It's about showing up every day and doing the work, one step at a time. Because in the end, the life you want isn't built in a day, but it is built daily. And the best part? You have the power to start right now. What if I told you that the smallest, most unassuming changes in your day could completely transform your life? Not years from now, but soon, very soon. The truth is, most of us overcomplicate the process of change. We think it requires massive, sweeping actions or waiting for the perfect moment. But in reality, transformation is born from the simple, consistent habits that shape your day-to-day life. These small actions create momentum, and with enough momentum, your life shifts in ways you never thought possible. One of the most powerful shifts you can make is redefining your relationship with discomfort. Too often, we avoid anything that feels hard, awkward, or inconvenient. We stick to what's comfortable because it feels safe, even if it's keeping us stuck. But here's the truth. Nothing worthwhile happens inside your comfort zone. Growth, change, and progress all require stepping into the unknown, embracing the challenges that come with it. I had to learn this the hard way. For years, I avoided the things that made me uncomfortable, whether it was having tough conversations, tackling big goals, or even making small but necessary changes in my routine. I convinced myself I wasn't ready, that the timing wasn't right, or that I needed more information. But all those excuses were just a mask for fear. The turning point came when I realized that staying comfortable was costing me more than any temporary discomfort ever could. Once I started leaning into discomfort, everything changed. I stopped avoiding the hard stuff and began facing it head-on. Was it scary? Absolutely. But each time I pushed through, I discovered something incredible. I was far more capable than I had given myself credit for. Discomfort became a signal, not of something to avoid, but of something worth pursuing. Because if it scared me, it meant it had the potential to change me. If you want to break free from the patterns that are holding you back, you have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. It's in those moments, when you're unsure, nervous, or even afraid, that real growth happens. Whether it's starting a new habit, having a difficult conversation, or chasing a dream that feels out of reach, the key is to take action despite the discomfort. Don't wait to feel ready, because ready is a myth. Take the leap and trust that you'll figure it out as you go. This mindset isn't just about pushing through challenges, it's about reframing how you see them. Instead of viewing discomfort as a sign that something is wrong, see it as proof that you're growing. Each step you take outside your comfort zone builds confidence and resilience. Over time, you'll realize that the things you once feared no longer have power over you. But as you step into this new mindset, don't forget the importance of recovery. Pushing yourself is essential, but so is creating space to rest, reflect, and recharge. That's where the habit of spending time in nature becomes so transformative. It's not just about being outside, it's about disconnecting from the chaos of modern life and reconnecting with something timeless and grounding. There's something profoundly healing about stepping away from screens, deadlines, and distractions to simply exist in the natural world. Whether it's a walk in the park, sitting by a lake, or even just standing in your backyard, being in nature reminds you of the bigger picture. It helps you zoom out from the noise of daily life and see things with fresh perspective. Problems that once felt overwhelming suddenly seem smaller. The stress that weighed on your shoulders begins to dissolve. I'll never forget the first time I made it a point to spend time outside intentionally. It was a chaotic week, and I felt like I was drowning in to-do lists, emails, and expectations. I decided, almost on a whim, to go for a walk in a nearby park. No phone, no agenda, just me and the world around me. At first, it felt strange. My mind kept wandering back to everything I should be doing. But as I kept walking, something shifted. The sound of the wind in the trees, the sunlight filtering through the branches, it all had a calming effect. By the time I returned home, I felt lighter, clearer, and more focused. Since then, spending time in nature has become a non-negotiable part of my routine. It's a way to reset, to recharge, and to remind myself of what truly matters. And it's not just me. Studies show that even short periods of time in nature can reduce stress, boost creativity, and improve overall well-being. It's a simple habit, but its impact is profound. If you're feeling overwhelmed or stuck, I challenge you to take 30 minutes today to step outside. Leave your phone behind, or at least put it on silent. Let yourself be present in the moment. Notice the colors, the sounds, the textures of the world around you. Breathe deeply and let go of the mental clutter that's been holding you back. You'll be amazed at how much clarity and peace you gain from something as simple as a walk in the fresh air. As you cultivate these habits, leaning into discomfort, creating space for recovery, and connecting with nature, you'll start to notice a shift. You'll feel more grounded, more focused, and more aligned with your purpose. The noise and distractions that once consumed your energy will begin to fade, leaving room for the things that truly matter. But don't stop there. Use this momentum to reassess other areas of your life. Are your daily routines serving you, or are they keeping you stuck? Are your surroundings inspiring you, or are they weighing you down? Every choice you make, no matter how small, is an opportunity to move closer to the life you want. One of the simplest yet most overlooked ways to take control of your time is to limit social media. We've all fallen into the trap of mindless scrolling, losing hours to content that doesn't add any real value to our lives. Social media promises connection, but more often than not, it leaves us feeling disconnected from ourselves, our goals, and the people who matter most. When I decided to limit my social media usage to just 15 minutes a day, it was a wake-up call. I hadn't realized how much of my time and energy was being drained by a tiny screen. At first it was hard. I'd catch myself reaching for my phone out of habit, craving the dopamine hit of likes, comments, or new notifications. But as I stuck to my limit, something amazing happened. I had more time to focus on my goals, more energy for the things that mattered, and a clearer mind. The constant comparison and noise that had been clouding my thoughts began to fade, and in its place, I found peace. This habit isn't about disconnecting from the world entirely. It's about being intentional with your time and energy. Social media can be a tool, but only if you use it on your terms. Set boundaries. Decide how much time you'll spend on it each day, and stick to it. Use that time wisely, whether it's connecting with loved ones or learning something new. But beyond that, put your phone down and focus on the life in front of you. Every time you choose presence over distraction, discomfort over complacency, and clarity over chaos, you're taking a step closer to the life you deserve. These habits might seem small, but their impact is anything but. Each one builds on the others, creating a foundation for growth, purpose, and fulfillment. And the best part? You have the power to start today. No more waiting, no more excuses. Your future is shaped by what you do right now, so why not make it count? When you strip everything down, past the noise, the distractions, the endless excuses, what's left is a simple truth. Your life is the sum of your choices. Each day, each moment, you're presented with an opportunity to shape your future. The question is, are you going to seize it? Or are you going to keep waiting for some mythical right time that never comes? Because here's the harsh reality. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to hand you the life you want. It's on you to build it, brick by brick, choice by choice. And the beauty of it? You don't need to wait for some dramatic breakthrough. Transformation doesn't happen in one giant leap. It happens in the quiet, consistent actions you take every single day. It's in the habits you build, the mindset you nurture, and the standards you set for yourself. These small, deliberate changes are the foundation for a life of purpose, fulfillment, and success. One of the most underrated but life-changing habits is committing to daily movement. Not because it's about losing weight or achieving some ideal body image, but because it's a statement to yourself. I care enough about me to show up. Every time you move your body, whether it's a walk, a workout, or even a stretch, you're reinforcing your ability to prioritize your health, energy, and mindset. It's not about how long or intense the movement is. It's about the discipline of doing it. When you commit to showing up for yourself physically, something shifts mentally. You start seeing yourself as someone who follows through, who takes action, even when it's inconvenient. That discipline bleeds into other areas of your life, giving you the confidence and momentum to tackle bigger challenges. And as the days turn into weeks, you'll notice how much stronger, clearer, and more energized you feel. Not just physically, but emotionally and mentally too. But while movement builds discipline, another critical habit helps you take control of your time and focus. Setting daily priorities. Too often, we let the day dictate our actions. We react to emails, notifications, and other people's demands, all while our own goals get pushed to the back burner. But when you start your day with intention, deciding what truly matters and committing to those priorities, you reclaim your power. You stop being pulled in 1,000 directions and start moving purposefully toward your goals. It's a simple shift, but the impact is profound. Each day, take a moment to ask yourself, what are the 3 most important things I need to accomplish today? Write them down and make them your non-negotiables. Start with the most important one before distractions creep in. When you focus on what truly matters, you'll find that the noise fades away. You'll end your day not with the frustration of busyness, but with the satisfaction of meaningful progress. And while you're mastering your time, don't overlook the power of your environment. Your surroundings have a direct impact on your mindset, productivity, and energy. If your space is cluttered, chances are, so is your mind. Decluttering isn't just about having a tidy room. It's about creating an environment that supports your growth and reduces mental friction. Take 15 minutes today to clear one area of your space. Start with your desk, your closet, or even your phone. Let go of what no longer serves you and make room for what does. When your space is clean, your mind feels lighter, and you'll be amazed at how much more focused and energized you become. But here's the thing. All these habits, movement, priorities, decluttering, are just pieces of a larger puzzle. To truly thrive, you need to go deeper. You need to reconnect with yourself. And one of the best ways to do that is through journaling, not as some formal or elaborate ritual, but as a simple daily check-in. Each morning, take 5 minutes to write down your thoughts. What's on your mind? What are you grateful for? What's one thing you want to accomplish today? Journaling gives you clarity. It forces you to slow down, reflect, and focus on what really matters. And over time, it helps you spot patterns in your thinking, the fears that hold you back, the strengths you overlook, the opportunities you can seize. It's a conversation with yourself, one that gets more honest and insightful the more you do it. And with that clarity comes the confidence to take action. But even as you cultivate these habits, it's important to protect the most valuable resource you have, your attention. In a world filled with distractions, social media is one of the biggest culprits. It promises connection, but too often it delivers comparison, distraction, and a constant state of mental clutter. That's why limiting your social media usage can be a game changer. Set a timer. Give yourself 15 minutes a day, no more. Use that time intentionally. Check in on loved ones, catch up on news, and then put your phone down. At first, it might feel like you're missing out, but what you're really doing is gaining back your time, focus, and energy. You're no longer at the mercy of endless scrolling. You're in control of how you spend your day. And finally, don't underestimate the power of stepping outside. In our hyper-connected world, we've become disconnected from nature. But spending just 30 minutes a day outside can transform your mindset. The fresh air, the sunlight, the sound of the wind in the trees, it all helps reset your mind and recharge your energy. It reminds you of the bigger picture, of the beauty and possibility that exists beyond your to-do list. These habits might seem small, but their impact is extraordinary. Each one builds on the others, creating a ripple effect that transforms your life from the inside out. And the best part? You don't need to wait. You don't need perfect circumstances, unlimited time, or endless resources. All you need is the willingness to start. So ask yourself, what kind of life do you want to create? What kind of person do you want to become? The answers aren't in some distant future. They're in the choices you make today, right now. Will you choose distraction or focus? Comfort or growth? Excuses or action? Your life is waiting. It's time to stop hesitating, stop overthinking, and start building, one step at a time, one habit at a time. Because the life you want isn't just possible, it's closer than you think. All it takes is for you to reach out and claim it. So go. Start now. Your future self is counting on you.